On News Express, Vice President Shettima departs Abuja for Cuba to represent President Tinubu at G77. NIMASO says seafarers' welfare key to productive maritime sector. Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Express live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Chidima Jawese. Vice President Kashim Shettima on Wednesday departed Nigeria to represent President Bola Tinubu at the G77 plus China Leaders Summit in Havana, Cuba, with the theme Current Development Challenges, the role of science, technology, and innovation, holding between 15th and 17th September. He said the summit would deliberate on development issues facing members, mostly from the Global South. The summit will equally explore proactive ways of addressing challenges facing the development of the member states, leveraging science, technology, and innovation to enhance socio-economic growth. Also, Shettima will, on the sidelines of the summit, hold bilateral meetings with other world leaders to promote Nigeria's trade and investment relations in line with the economic development diplomacy of the President Bola Tinubu administration. The Havana summit would be hosted by the President of the Republic of Cuba, Miguel Diaz-Canel, in his capacity as chairman of the G77. President Bola Tinubu has directed payment of all pending group life assurance owed to the families of deceased soldiers without delay. Kikeloma Okere reports that the Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tarid Lagwaja made the disclosure on Tuesday while declaring open the Chief of Army Staff Combined Second and Third Quarter Conference 2023 at the Army Headquarters Command Officers Mess in Abuja.
The Chief of Army Staff stated that troops' welfare and that of their families will continue to remain paramount in all his efforts to enhance the effectiveness and efficiency of soldiers.
I wish to express the Nigerian Army's gratitude once again to the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, for directing that all pending group life assurance payments owed to the families of our departed warriors be paid without delay.
In the meantime, the President also directed the armed forces and other security agencies to decisively deal with all security challenges facing the country.
I charge fleet commanders to ensure the maintenance of these platforms and equipment to prolong their lifespan and enable the nation to optimize its investments. To align with the directive of the Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, that the armed forces and other security agencies should decisively deal with all security challenges facing the country. We must continue to conduct ourselves in a manner that reflects us as a committed force. In line with this, I conceived my command philosophy to transform the Nigerian Army into a well-trained, equipped, and highly motivated force towards achieving our constitutional responsibilities within a joint environment.
The Army Chief noted that the activities of Operation Hardin Kai in the northeast have effectively curtailed Boko Haram and other terrorist activities in the region, leading to the large-scale surrender of members of the terrorist groups and the submission of a large cache of arms and ammunition.
The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has hailed President Bola Tinubu for what he termed his ingenuity and proactive approach in resolving the visa crisis with the United Arab Emirates. Akpabio, who described the action as a socio-political showpiece, said that it was an act of genius for the President to have seamlessly restored diplomatic relations between Nigeria and the UAE. Considering the economic loss incurred by both nations while the unfortunate disagreements lasted, noting that he was highly elated at the development, Akpabio explained that it was a strategic move that will reinvent and strengthen consular and economic ties between Nigeria and the UAE. He, however, assured President Tinubu that the National Assembly, under his leadership, would continue to provide the required legal framework to enable the executive implement the noble policies outlined in the Renewed Hope agenda. The Republic of Benin has pleaded with the Nigerian government to consider rescinding its decision to close borders between both countries. The Assistant Comptroller General, Strategic Research and Policy Department of the Nigerian Customs Service at Damu Alpha disclosed this while reading the communique at the end of a two-day working visit of the Director General of Customs to Nigeria in Abuja on Tuesday. Kikalomo Okere has the details.
Assistant Comptroller General Strategic Research and Policy Department, Nigerian Customs Service says the two countries agreed to work and seek for harmonization of bound products by the two borders, while noting the work visit is a follow-up of the Nigerian Customs Service CG Adewale Adeniyi visit to the Republic of Benin. He stated that the visit is a desire of sharing commitments, promoting economic development, as well as strengthening of trade and facilitate partnership between the two countries.
Number 10, and this is a special addition by the Customs Administration of Benin Republic, that the Customs Administration of Benin Republic is requesting for the reversal of Nigeria's policy on the closure of Nigerian borders. This visit reaffirms the commitment of both nations to strengthen their bilateral cooperation, improve trade facilitation, and promote economic growth while fostering goodwill among their border populations.
Over the last 24 hours, we've been able to leverage our shared commitment to meaningful cooperation to consider and make progress on issues like managing the transit of goods through our territories, the use of our ports by importers of our different territories, and the issue of harmonizing prohibited goods, and finally, the attention we are drawing to the need to review the closure of some of our borders.
The Director General of Customs Service of Republic of Benin, Alin Katin, and Ambassador of Benin Republic to Nigeria, Adovi Polati, and the Ambassador of Nigeria to Benin, Olukayode Urugbenga, who spoke in French, appealed to Nigerian authorities to open the border within his country. They noted that the border closure is halting trade facilitation between the two countries, as well as sub-regional trade. They further reiterate their commitment to cooperate with Nigerian authorities to ensure trade facilitation between the two countries on mutual beneficial ground.
Gone through the communique, and two aspects of the communique are of very, very importance to us as a country, particularly the main irritant along our border, and that is the closure of the border. Not many Nigerians will know the impact, but for those of us who are on ground, it was like a war declared on the two border areas. And for this to have been mentioned in the communique, it shows that we are really ready to move ahead in our bilateral relations.
While responding to questions from journalists, the Acting Comptroller General of Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, says the two administrations agreed that Nigerian importers willing to use ports on Cotonou are free to clear their goods, as the goods will be free to enter Nigeria. Adeniyi added that the development will enhance building of trust and confidence into the nation's economy, while noting that the meeting will strengthen the bilateral relationship between the two countries to achieve a rapid economic growth and development.
So if there are people in Benin Republic who wants to use our ports, we're trying to build trust, we're trying to build confidence in our systems. And by virtue of this agreement, what it means is that Nigerian importers willing to use the ports in Cotonou can have their goods cleared in those ports, because there would be opportunity for them to pay duties on those that are liable for payment of duties. We can account for the duties for those goods in the ports of arrival. So they will now be free to enter into Nigeria. So the second...
The two-day working visit of the Director General of Customs, Republic of Benin, is to strengthen the existing bilateral trade ties and cooperation between the two countries, which will pave way for a comprehensive mechanism to harmonize the import prohibition list of the two countries. Kike Lomo Ukeri, Global Television News, Abuja.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, says 13 states and 15 communities, mainly up north, are likely to witness heavy rainfall that may lead to flooding between 13th and 17th of September. Ibrahim Farinloye, Lagos Territorial Coordinator, NEMA, disclosed this on Wednesday in Lagos. Farinloye listed the states and communities to include Kano State, with communities like Sumaila and Kunchi likely to be affected. He also said that Kebbi State, with communities like Agungu, and Katsina State, with Bindawa, Jibia, Keita, Katsina communities, would also be affected. Other states, he said, were Niger, with Kontagora, Mashegu, and New Busa communities, as well as Kwara State and Koshubosu community. The rest are Zamfara State, Bauchi State, Taraba, Borno State, Adamawa, Yobe, Gombe State, and Jigawa, with Duse, Gumel, Waram, Miga, Farinloye added that due to the rise in the water levels of River Benue and Niger, communities along the two rivers up to Bayelsa were advised to take precautionary measures in the coming days. The United Nations Children's Fund has said 333 million children are still living in extreme poverty globally. The report from UNICEF and the World Bank indicates that the COVID-19 pandemic led to the abolition of extreme poverty for 30 million fewer children than was previously predicted. According to the statistics, around 1 in 6 children still live in less than $2.15 per day. UNICEF Executive Director Catherine Russell on Wednesday said the combination of crises, including the effects of COVID-19 conflicts, climate change, and economic meltdown has halted the advancement and placed millions of children in extreme poverty. The World Bank Global Director for Poverty and Equity, Luis Felipe Lopez Calva, said a world where 333 million children live in extreme poverty, deprived not only of basic needs but also dignity, opportunity, or hope, is simply intolerable. The report found that 40% of children in sub-Saharan Africa still live in extreme poverty, the highest percentage of anywhere. Prioritize tackling child poverty and enact a range of measures, including the expansion of universal child benefit programs. You're watching Global TV News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When Global TV News Express returns, seafarers' welfare key to a productive maritime sector. We'll tell you about these and more right after this break. Please don't go away. This is Global Television, bringing you live broadcast of the News Express from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. A series of coups in Western Africa is putting the unity and capability of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to the test as it seeks to restore civilian rule in countries such as Burkina Faso, Guinea, Mali, and Niger. These four nations have joined forces to resist economic sanctions and potential military action by the other 11 countries within the bloc. On July 26, the military junta in Niger placed President Mohamed Bazoum under house arrest, accusing his administration of mismanaging the country's resources and allowing the security situation to deteriorate. In response, ECOWAS imposed trade sanctions on Niger and even threatened military intervention. Meanwhile, the coup plotters are reportedly using Niger's meager financial resources, including by allegedly extorting Sonidep, the national petrol company, and diverting customs taxes to put people on the streets and give the illusion of popular support. Libya was reeling Wednesday from a massive flood that killed more than 2,000 people, wreaking havoc in the eastern city of Derna, where bodies wrapped in blankets were lining the ravaged streets. Relief missions gathered pace with Turkey, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates among the first nations to rush aid to the war-scarred country after the disaster that has left about 10,000 missing, according to international humanitarian workers. The Mediterranean coastal city of Derna was hit by a huge flash flood late Sunday that witnesses likened to a tsunami after two upstream dams burst when torrential rains brought by Storm Daniel battered the region. The confirmed death toll in the politically fractured North African country reached 2,300 by Tuesday afternoon, but some regional officials were quoted as giving figures more than twice as high. At least 56 people are known to have died and dozens were injured in a huge fire in an apartment block in Vietnam's capital, Hanoi. Some 37 people were injured in the fire, police said, adding that 39 victims have been identified. The fire, which broke out during the night, has been extinguished, but rescue operations are continuing. Authorities in fast-growing Hanoi say many newly built apartments do not meet fire safety regulations. The cause of the fire is being investigated, but witnesses said it started in the parking floor of the building, which was packed with motorbikes. Residents described hearing a loud bang at around 11 o'clock local time on Tuesday and then seeing black smoke rising through the building. The Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) has said its planned industrial action, which may commence any day from next week, would lead to an indefinite shutdown of commercial and economic activities across the country. National Assistant General Secretary of the NLC, Christopher Onyeka, said Tuesday that the federal government was wrong to share a bag of rice to a dozen citizens while reportedly giving 100 million naira palliative to each member of the National Assembly. The union had on September 1st handed down a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government over the delay in sharing of palliatives, saying it might be compelled to declare an indefinite labor action if its demands were not met. The NLC leadership had said the action was in preparation for a total shutdown, which would start at the expiration of the ultimatum next week. The Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Bashir Jamo, has said the seafarers lay at the heart of an efficient and productive maritime sector. Speaking at an enlightenment workshop for seafarers, employers of seafarers, and other maritime stakeholders in Lagos on certification and health-related issues concerning Nigerian seafarers, the NIMASA board said that the safety and well-being of seafarers is paramount in ensuring the smooth operation and success of the maritime industry. Jamo, who was represented by the head Administration and Human Resources Department, Hamisu Gambo, noted that the ability to maintain high medical standards and certifications is not only a legal requirement but crucial to safeguarding the lives of those who dedicate their careers to the sea. He explained that the agency organized the event to ensure that ship owners, workers' unions, employers of labor, and other stakeholders in the maritime sector are well informed on the issues of seafarers' medical certification. He added that the workshop has been meticulously curated to address the pressing concerns faced by rejection of medical certificates issued to seafarers by some facilities and to equip all with the knowledge and tools needed to meet the stringent medical requirements set forth by international maritime authorities. The Central Bank of Nigeria may be asked to withdraw its audited annual financial reports, which were released last month. This came after a team investigating the Apex Bank discovered discrepancies and irregularities in the financial accounts. In August, the CBN released its financial accounts for the year 2016 to 2022 amid an ongoing probe of the financial services sector regulator by a special investigator appointed by President Bola Tinubu. According to findings, the CBN Special Investigator is working with a team of accountants, auditors, and forensic accountants to carry out the investigation. Multiple sources close to the investigation said a presidential approval would soon be obtained to enable the relevant agency, FRC, to order the CBN to withdraw the controversial financial accounts. Top sources close to the special investigator and his team said while the CBN financial accounts were not prepared using the International Financial Reporting Standards 9, which demands full disclosure of all financial transactions, the Apex Bank allegedly used guidelines purportedly obtained from the FRC in a controversial manner to prepare the financial accounts. On sports, defender Leon Balogun was conspicuously missing while new striker Cyril Dessers was named in coach Michael Beale's squad as Glasgow Rangers released their squad for the Europa League on Tuesday. Rangers announced their 22-man squad for the competition on their website. Balogun was not selected in Beale's squad as the coach listed James Tavernier, Conor Goldson, John Salter, Boma Barisic, Dujon Stallings and Ben Davies as his defenders for the early stage of the competition. Rangers will still be able to register more players from the round of 16, but the 35-year-old is ineligible for that as the list is limited to players born on or after January 1st, 2002. Balogun rejoined the Light Blues for free from Queen's Park Rangers last summer and has only made 2 appearances since the start of the campaign. Having failed to meet PSV Eindhoven in the playoff round of the UEFA Champions League, Rangers will now have to contend with playing in the Europa League. Let's join Sharon Ajay for more on sports.
Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Football is, for me, it's always been about connecting with not only more of myself, but with the people that I'm surrounded by.
Super Falcons defender Ashley Plumter has confirmed joining the Saudi Arabian Women's Premier League club Al Ittihad Ladies. The 25-year-old announced this alongside a video of her unveiling on X. She wrote, quote, "Excited to start this journey alongside some incredible human beings. My journey of stepping into more of myself continues. It's more than football," unquote. Plumter joined Al Ittihad after a contract expiration of 3 years spanning 2020 to 2023 at Leicester, where she made 62 appearances. Away from football, WBC Continental Federation light heavyweight champion Goodday Apa has called on the government and private sector to promote boxing in Nigeria, saying it's the next empire that will rule the world and take over from football. He stated that despite the economic potential and huge capital inflow from boxing, Nigerians do not promote the sport. Bayelsa State-born Apa stated this in an interview in Abuja on Saturday, while being unveiled to the public by boxing promoter Jude Onoweakpo. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
As we end News Express on Global TV, a look at some of our top stories. Vice President Shettima has departed Abuja for Cuba to represent President Tinubu at G77. Limasa has said seafarers' welfare key to productive maritime sector. And that's it on Global TV News Express, live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Chidima Jawasin, thanking you so very much for watching. Good evening.